Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Yes, welcome back to Padres Hablando Claro. Today it's me, Izzy, and the beautiful, wonderful, and amazing La Nopalera.
I love when you introduce us, you hype me up. If she starts doing the introductions, you guys know why, because she be hyping a girl up, but isn't that what it's about?
That's what it's all about, Daisy. This vida is about hyping each other up.
Especialmente las mujeres.
Yes.
Es muy importante.
I think, you know what, now you got it in my head. Yeah, it's so important because growing up, you know, I want to say this. Growing up, I always heard like, oh no, working with women, like if you work with a woman, like they're like, what are they? Cat fights? No.
Yeah. Cat fights,
Drama, all that stuff. I always had the privilege of growing, as I worked in like career and became professional, whatever. I always worked with women. Always. It was either all women in the department, or if it was 11 women, one man. You know, like I was very much surrounded by women, and the women were always so supportive, so understanding, and I was like, why do I hear so often people say you're gonna work with women, it's gonna be terrible, and backstabbing and drama. No, that's not like it. And so you're right, we should be hyping each other up and changing that narrative of if you're with women, it's no good.
More confirmation that me and Izzy are connected, and o sea, neta que I can't. The conversation we had, exclusive content. One day you guys would hear those conversations. One day, but y'all not ready yet.
No.
But on Women's Day, I went to work, and what I told my co-workers was, Happy Women's Day to the most beautiful women I've ever met. 1, 2. For the first time, I have worked in a place where every single woman here has lifted me when I was down, and never has put me down when I'm down. I go in there on my hardest day, they give me hugs, they pray, you got this, what do you need, what can we do? Like, I have never worked with women like that before. And it's my first experience because I have experience. Drama. Oh, yes. I was a dental assistant.
Oh.
I worked with nothing but women, and I worked with a lot of different women, but it comes a lot from the environment. Let's be honest, a lot gets put on by the work environment, the work conditions, the work stress, and
I believe that everything has to do with the environment.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how we can sit back and say like, oh, I would never do that, I would never do that, but you don't know because you've not been in that environment.
You haven't been in that environment. So it's like, it just happens, and así la vida. And honestly, it was, and I was like, it could be done. Look at that. I mean, I am a woman supporter because I wasn't a woman supporter before. Like, I go hardcore. Maybe, I feel like sometimes people think I come too hard that it looks fake. But I come really hard when it comes to women's support because I was a woman that didn't support other women. Yo antes, cuando no era, like I've told you, when
you were a hater.
When I was a hater. Especially to women that were being better mothers when I wasn't being a good mother to my daughter. Those moments where I wasn't there for my daughter, I would talk down mothers. There's too much, you're overdoing. I would talk. But why would I talk to you? Because they will wake up and make an extra breakfast for their kids. Like, I was hating on them. Like,
man, old Daisy.
I know. Por eso we go hard. That's why we go hard now.
Yeah, I love this going hard. And you know what? I don't think it seems fake or comes off as fake. And I always, like I say, what is true, like, it's always gonna come up to the top. It's gonna rise. Like, even if someone like meets you and at first it's like, whoa, that's like a lot.
Like you're too much
You're too
Daisy.
much.
And it happens and it's okay. I don't feel bad.
No,
Like I do not feel bad at all.
Yeah, but like because that's your truth,
That's
like
right.
eventually people are like, oh no, that's how she really is and this is genuine.
And
And you
just-
don't have to change that in any way.
No, así soy mujer, hear me roar. Soy una
You're la loba.
La loba, soy una
La loba.
Okay. ¿Cómo andas? How
Well,
are
girl,
you?
I mean, you heard me. I'm on another level. I'm excited as heck. I'm so happy to be here. I'm just happy.
I know. It's a shift. There was a shift this weekend. There was a shift, a very good shift that was needed, and I'm ready. I woke up with some allergies, I think.
Oh yeah, you said you were feeling under the weather.
I thought I was under the weather, but I'm just now that I'm up and like, yeah, my body is moving and there's blood flowing and everything, it's just like I'm concentrating on it. It's just here.
Okay,
Yeah.
you know what? I've been feeling congested too, but I refuse to think that I have allergies. You know, when I turned 25, I had allergies. I had never had them before. I went to the doctor. I said, I don't know, I've been having like this runny, stuffy nose for like a month. And he was like, you have allergies. I said, allergies? I've never had them before. And he was like, yeah, but as you age, like, body changes and you can get allergies. And I said, doctor, vete a la basura. And I just refuse to admit that I have allergies and I suffer. That happens, you know, sometimes. And it's kind of like the topic I have for today about sometimes we just don't pay attention and we suffer.
Yeah.
So that's me with the allergies. But before we get into the story, do you want to go our questions?
Yes.
Did we do our question last week?
Yes, we did.
We did. Oh, I was like so into last week's episode.
I'm pretty sure we did. I know. I read like.
Oh, this is a romantic question.
No, ahorita no estoy romántica.
No.
Ahorita con las marchas, I'm in like my activist energy vibe, like very viva la revolución energy. De amor, revolución de amor.
Yeah. That's what we've been doing.
The revolution, the horse, the heart.
I told you, action. It's time to take action. When you are an activist, activist, you have to act, you have to have action. And you don't get on a horse just to plop around. It's action. That's why I
This
told
was a
you.
side note, sorry
That's
guys.
what I told you. If you guys see a horse, if you see yourself in a mood to be active, it's your psyche, it's your insides telling you need to take action. It's that deep knowing that we talked about last week. Your deep knowing knows. It's bringing the message forward. You need to pay attention. Okay.
O sea, I love you. I
Onto
love
the
you,
question.
Christy. Onto the question.
Question. Do you think that I have any unconventional views on love? Unconventional.
No. That's why I fucks with you. Sorry for the language. Because I love how you're teaching me about love. Like you really are. I started looking at the world and water drops look like hearts and it's like, oh, I love you too, or I love myself, or I love you, or you know, like
Yeah.
that's not I like to.
But you don't think that's unconventional?
No.
No, I think that's. I believe there's love in every moment, in every breath. If our deep within us, if our knowing didn't think that there was love, I don't think we would take that next breath. You know?
Yeah.
But even if our outsides are kind of have us close to that love force, that love energy, our deep within us, we know it, and so we automatically take that next breath because there's love in every moment.
So yeah.
I don't know, do I think that, Daisy, you have any unconventional views on love? No, I don't think so. I don't. No.
No.
I don't know.
Am I? Yeah. Used to.
But this, like, I think you used to have, like, when you talk and you shared with us about how you used to think like love was like that someone provides for you una casa and your food, but I mean I don't believe that that's love, but I think that a lot of people believe that, and so therefore that you would not be unconventional.
Ooh, okay, I like that one. Utilize it.
It's 11/11.
11/11. Make a wish.
I love 11/11.
Also, shout out to you for this tea. This is really good.
Oh, that one's elderberry ginger. You told me you were under the weather. I said, let me get that tea.
It's.
You feeling the ginger?
The little kick spice. I'm feeling it in my. It's going up. Oat milk. Oof.
Ooh, with the little oat milk.
Yes, I'm gonna try to make oat milk today.
Good. I make my own oat milk.
I bought the.
You bought that same one?
You.
Yes.
I saw it on you,
Yes.
and you made it look so easy. And I was
It's so
like, I am
easy.
spending. Like, oat milk is expensive.
First of all, here, let's do this one, guys. Even if you're not here for food tips or nada.
Yes.
When you buy, if you look at the back of, I'm not going to name any brands, but if you go buy any alternative milk, so almond milk or oat milk, like that, it's really delicious. But when you look at the back, it has like a lot of gums and fillers and all this stuff to make it last longer, and also I think to give it the consistency that people like when they think about milk. But you can make it yourself. And if you use those oats, so if you have a Costco, you can go to a Costco. It's a big bag. I don't know, what is the brand called? But it's a white bag with yellow on top, yellow on bottom, and it's organic oats. And the important thing is that they are already sprouted. So when a food is already sprouted, that means that the enzymes are already activated in it. So it's easier for your body to process and digest. Mm-hmm. So that's why I said you need to get that bag. And you take 1 cup, or you can take 2 if you want an extra like oomph in your leche. And 4 cups of water, you blend it together, you filter it, you got it.
I'm doing it.
And it's so good.
I love oat milk. I don't drink regular milk anymore. My son does not like, and he does eat, like we didn't have oat milk, and I gave him regular milk, and he's like, I don't like this milk. It makes my stomach feel weird.
The regular milk.
Yeah, the regular milk.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, it feels heavy. And I was like, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oat milk. I love oat milk. It's so good.
It's so good.
I used to not drink milk. I used to just, so now I'll be chugging it. Like, I crave it. Like, oh, I want a glass of milk.
Yeah. And then you think like, ooh, a little matcha with some oat milk. I was gonna say I need coffee, but maybe I need a little matcha. I'm gonna go home and make a matcha. Okay, Daisy. Now, let's get into our topic today.
It's time. Let's go.
Yes.
I'm excited. Last one was just wow.
The last one I loved it, and I loved that it took you by, I wanted to say storm, but more like it knocked you off your feet, but more I think it awoke that loa within you.
It did, and then I got a flashback that day
of
a sticker that I saw at a coffee shop in Pilsen. Unleash the wolf, your little wolf. And then we had the little episode, and I was like,
the wolf has been unleashed.
It's been.
So to all the people out there who have unleashed their loba within, once you unleash your inner wolf, that doesn't mean like, oh, everything is like magic and everything is so easy. It's actually a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
To keep going deeper and healing and living the life that you deserve.
Yeah.
And so we're following along with the book by Clarissa Pinko's Estes. Her name, and the name of the book is Women Who Run with Wolves, Myths and Stories of the Wild Woman Archetype. And the next story, the next archetype that she talks about, I think is so interesting, but it is the naive woman within us. And I'll tell you the story that she tells. So this is a recap or a paraphrase.
Recap.
A recap.
A short.
What's the right word? There's a word.
There's a word and it's right here. But ahorita no existe.
Yeah, but here it is.
Summary?
A summary. You got it.
It was there. I told you it was right here. It was covered. It was covered.
Viene smart.
So viene smart. It's like, yo, these are matemáticas. Have you seen that TikTok?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna send it to you. It's so funny.
Okay, good. Do you think they're gonna ban TikTok? They said they're gonna ban TikTok.
That can't happen. I get a lot of my information from TikTok.
Oh my god, they're gonna ban TikTok.
No, why? Who?
But
you know what? Because it can't be filtered. It can't. Don't conspiracy. Don't start with a conspiracy.
Okay,
don't start. Let's go back to the book because you
Back
know
to
what?
our
Stay
summary.
tuned for another
Back to our
episode.
summary.
Yes.
So our summary tip. So this is a summary of the myth or the story, the fairy tale of Bluebeard. Bluebeard, El Barba Azul.
Okay.
Which is weird, right?
Yeah.
And so the story is that Bluebeard knew 3 women and he wanted to. Son 3 hermanas, okay? And the 3 hermanas, the 3 of them are like, oh no, he's scary. This is not right. But Bluebeard keeps going, and Bluebeard takes him out for a fun day, takes him to a picnic. Basically, las enamora a las 3. But wait. And the mom was there too. Wait, girl. But the 2 older sisters are like, no, you cannot trick me. No romantic dates, no nothing. No, you're no good. But the little sister's like, you know what? Maybe su barba is not so azul. Maybe he's not that bad. And so when he asks for her hand in marriage, she says yes. And the younger sister thinks that her life is so fantastic, so wonderful, because Bluebeard gives her a castle and she's living this magical life. And Bluebeard has to go out one day and he says, the whole house is yours, you can eat whatever you want, do whatever you want, have fun, you are the queen, but you cannot go into that little room. The whole house is yours, but not that little room. And she goes into that little room because las hermanas llegan. The older sisters come and they say, let's go into that little room. Let's go see what's in that little room. And when they open the little room, they see nothing but skeletons of all the women that he's killed before. Everything that he's like taken. And the younger sister en ese momento se despierta to the monster that she's married to. And she tries to lock the door again, but now the little key it's manchada. It has blood on it now. And when he comes home, she gives him back the keys, and he's like, where's the key to the little room? And she said, oh, I lost it. But then he's like, no, you went into that room that I told you not to go into. And he said, y ahora te tengo que matar a ti. And she says, okay, but before you kill me, let me go prepare myself to be killed. And when she's out there, she starts praying and she calls her hermanas and she says, hermanas, do you see our brothers? Are they coming to save me? And the Bluebeard is coming closer to her. And when he's about to kill her, the brothers come in, kill the Bluebeard, and she is saved. And so, as I'm telling this story, I'm like, oh my God, that's such a beautiful fairy tale. But when you break down the fairy tale, the young sister, it's inside of all of us. That part of us that's naive, that knows, but doesn't want to know. And when we open the door, when we look into the things that we are not supposed to, but we know that deep knowing inside us knows that we have to.
Let me sip my tea. Let me diles,
yes. When you stop being naive, when you go in and you actually see, then you have 2 options. Either you're going to take action and you're not going to let that monster or that darkness or that naivety like take you over, or te vas a morir. You're gonna end up like another skeleton in that closet. And so, girl, when I was reading, I was like, wow, all the times, and I'm so thankful for that inner wolf inside me, la mujer que sabe, that I'm scared, but I keep asking questions and I keep going into the darker room deep inside me. And even though it hurts, I keep going deeper, so that I can really, truly bring the light to everything within me, you know. And sometimes it's scary.
It's scary. We've said it before. I think we've said it like 3 episodes back, not even 3 episodes back, that it is difficult. I call them demons. That's just how I've expressed myself. And it's hard. It's hard to put them in the table, because you have to have a conversation with them in order to tap in. And it's something that always is going to have, in order for growth, it's always going to have to happen. Right. And it's not like we said, it's not just like you do it one time, oh, we're healed, everything's good, everything's fine. No, it's what I have learned in the past like 2 years is like, no, it's like once you start, hay niveles, and you just need to go and keep going. But with every hardship or every struggle or every time you go through those emotions, when you come out of it, it's just like the way that you are mentally, the way that you see the world. I see a whole different world.
Right?
I see, even though like the world is still the same shit, getting worse out there, but like I see it differently, like con más amor. Lo veo con más amor.
Right. And yeah, and I was like looking at all, like when I was reading this, and I was thinking of like the naive woman, and if you take it as, I want to say at the face value, I think so many of us can connect with it. Like, we've all been in love with the bad boy, or we've all
love
that
bad boys. I love the bad boys. I like the Discovery Man. I know Nordstrom.
But I think that, I mean, I just think it's just a natural step for all of us as women, but also for all human beings, right?
Yeah.
That our naive side, we know someone's not good for us, and we do it anyways, and we just have to learn and awaken on our own. And unfortunately, some mujeres nunca se despertaron, because how many abuelas do we know que se quedaron casadas, abusadas, but ahí seguían because whatever they just didn't want to ask the questions, because asking the questions and going deeper is very scary. It will require you to wake up and take action. Right?
This reminds me of, I've lost, they're still alive, but I have lost contact with a lot of women. Not a lot, but few women, and you girls know who you are. And I feel like I need to say it.
Okay.
I never wanted to leave them behind. I really wanted them in the next step in my life. But I learned that I wasn't naive. I knew in the beginning I was naive. So I'm not naive with relationships anymore. I'm naive with relationships with women because I really want to build a tribe. Like I would love to have a company que sean todas mujeres.
Right.
To be honest. Yeah. And then my son. But then he'll be raised by an amazing tribe, and he will be like so awesome. But and I really saw at that moment, like I was so naive because I was like, I really wanted this. I wanted my tribe. I wanted my, mis mujeres. But I couldn't make them want to heal.
Right, you can't wake everybody up. You can't make everybody look deeper, and even when they do, even when you do look, again, like the girl, like the little sister, when she opens the door, there's a lot of skeletons in there, because there's a lot of women who do see, but they just decide, okay, entonces aquí me muero.
And it's not their fault, because that's what we were taught, and it's like, it's like that's what we were taught. That's how in our community it was. Like most of our women in our community needed to be naive, because if you started asking questions or you started thinking differently, like, oh no, consequences.
Right.
Violence.
Right.
Domestic violence was normal back in the day.
Or you start asking questions, but then you don't follow the norm. So cuántas like mujeres who were like, wait a minute, eso no es bueno para mí, but then they ended up like not getting married, and everybody was like, ay, pobrecita, like she's alone and blah blah blah. Even though like that woman might have been living their best life, but to the outside world it's like, oh no, she doesn't have a partner. And being ostracized and not being part of the group, it feels bad too.
Yeah.
So a lot of times women just decide like, fine, aquí pues I'll stay naive, no voy a hacer preguntas, o si sé la respuesta a las preguntas, I'm just gonna keep myself quiet anyways.
Yeah.
And just die, let the Bluebeard
Yeah.
take over. But as I read more and I thought about it more and I meditated more, I thought about this questioning and going deeper into those little rooms, that deep inside of us, that psyche. And I started thinking of how that is also part of how we parent, right? As when we were growing up, it's like, wow, there's the screaming, the yelling, the hitting, like that. It doesn't feel good. And then you have your own children, and you can stay naive and think, I can continue to parent the same, and be naive and think, and your children are going to be okay, and somehow they're not going to feel that pain. But when you start to ask the questions, like, wait a minute, when estoy gritando, or when I'm wanting to assert my authority over my child, like, what am I really doing here? And you go deeper in, and you start to see like, wait, no, you know what, that's really hurting them. This is really not good. This is something I really want to break. Then you have to take action, and that's so hard, especially when everybody around you is telling you like, no.
Yes.
And you know that.
And that's how we met, because you were telling me, like, they're telling me hit my children, but I'm not gonna hit my children.
Right, and I'm not gonna yell at my children, and if we continue to be naive about how we parent, about how we talk and how we behave with our children, and continue to believe that maybe they won't be hurt by the yelling or the screaming or the chaos going all around them, they will end up a skeleton in that dark room, just like the generations before us, right? And so I think I was like, wow, like, yeah, this is really hard work. And you need a whole group of older sisters to lift you up, and brothers and everything, to let you know that you're going to make it out of that dark room, and that your children are not going to end up un esqueleto in that dark room, in their psyche of that authoritarian type of parenting.
No, yeah. Whew. Ladies, there is women out there that do want to see you thrive.
Yeah.
There are out here.
But I think more than anything, you have to want to see yourself thrive, because this whole story of the Bluebeard, like, that Bluebeard lives within you too, and the naive sister lives within you too, and la mujer que sabe lives within you too, right?
Now I get all of them. Are you story? Now
everything is in you, and so you think, like, any issue that you're trying to heal, right? You part of you is naive. No look at it, and you don't even want to look. You don't even want to go deep into your mind, right? But that deep knowing inside you is already awakened, and you have to. No te va a dejar. That howling is in you, and so you start to look deep and deeper inside, and that ego, it tells you, hey, I told you not to look there. Hey, I told you not to go there.
The ego is the Bluebeard.
I told you not to go there, and you went there, and now you're gonna suffer, right? And you think like, oh my God, and those flashbacks, and you're crying, and everything feels so terrible. But la mujer within you, she knows, keep going, keep healing. The light is coming, right? And now I'm getting emotional, because there's those moments when you're healing, you are feeling like, what the fuck, ¿para qué hice esto, right? Because
so much pain. So
much, and you're crying so much, but that naive person in you that you woke up is crying out to your brothers, to your sisters, to the strength within you, and in the last moment, llega la luz. You found it, the clarity, the peacefulness, it comes. And that part of the ego is done. It's gone.
Yeah.
And then you start again.
That's how I felt this weekend.
Yeah, and then it starts again, because the ego's always going to try to come back.
Shit, man. And you know what? The environment has to do a lot with it, because I started Saturday listening to some corridos, and like I posted their song on Instagram, and like I kept going back to it, and because of my personal life and situations, like I started thinking about it. I was like, holy shit, like this looks very aggressive. And because of the situation that you're in, might look like this is directed to that, but it was just really like this song came on, and I was like, it's true. Like everyone, I have inputs of my own. You know, like everyone has inputs, or everyone has their own thoughts of things. Like no one thinks the same. No one. So when people are like, oh, everyone has their own opinion, because everyone has their own opinion. Like everyone has their own, you know. But it is very aggressive. Like the way the song and the lyrics and the way I was feeling, like emotionally, I was like, and then I was seeing it through the day, and I was like, yo, this wasn't cute. Like this wasn't cute. And my ego.
Yeah.
My ego was getting tapped in. Yeah. My ego was like, you know, and I was like, hey, yo, calmate el pedo. I had to.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Log off. Log off, because right now your ego, the only thing your ego's going to be doing is be putting negative messages out there, because apparently you're still feeling something towards the situation. So let's figure out what the situation is causing you stress. Why is it still bothering you?
Yeah, and you know, and that's what I think is so important. Like I think sometimes people think like, oh, the ego, we have to kill it. And it's like, no, just like your whole psyche is, todo is part of your ego, but there's a little part of the ego that's not helping you. That's that blue beard. That's that scary part. That's the part of the ego that we want to get rid of.
Because ego is needed in order to have confidence.
To have confidence. In order for you to say, like, I'm going to wear these leopard pants and this blue turtleneck, and I'm going to do my makeup, and I'm going to wear this and that. That's part of your ego, right? Your little psyche. But we're trying to get rid of that blue beard, the one that's hurting you. It's not hurting anybody else. It's hurting you. And you have to stop being naive about it. Listen to that deep knowing within you. Ask the questions, and you gotta grow. You gotta start opening every little door in there, and seeing how many skeletons are in there. And no more skeletons.
Pero sí, now I understand, and that you.
Right, and it's a lot of it's work, guys, and. Also,
I can't.
And also, I think it's like important to make clear, because I see this a lot, where you start to open up and you start that healing journey, and you might set yourself up. And this is part of ego, where it's like, oh, well, now I started the healing journey, so now I am healing 24/7, completely different. And the moment that you take a break, or you take a breather, or that you kind of revert a little bit, then you start to feel like, oh no, like, it's done. Yeah, I'm not gonna be growing anymore, or maybe only up to here, right? But it's like, no, you know, growth is not like this level, next level, next level, next level. No, growth it's a circle, and it's going up and it's going down, because remember, energy's a wave, and it's going up and it's going down, and when you're down, you might feel like you're reverting to some old ways, but really you're just going down to come back up and go back down and go back up. That's healing. That's healing. It's always moving up and down. So be gentle with yourself.
Se siente, me mareo.
Yeah.
Se siente, me mareo.
Yeah, and you just gotta be gentle with yourself and move with that wave as you keep healing, as you keep opening doors, as you keep questioning and coming back and going, coming back and going. And I think it's so important, not only that we have that compassion and understanding for ourselves as we heal, but that we have it for other people too.
Yeah. Sometimes. I know.
So what do you guys think about that? What have you awakened yourself to? What energy are you moving? And growing in relationships, and growing with yourself, and things that you're trying to change. Like, what are your blue beards out there? I would like to hear.
Same here.
Right?
Because I am deep in my thoughts, like, blue beard, okay, which other blue beard, what other blue beard dude is in here.
What else is deep in our psyche?
Yeah.
That we need to address.
Address.
And
Talk, bring to the table and have a conversation. No, man, es otro nivel. I have to read that book. I'm gonna have to read that book.
Yeah, you guys read this book and let's talk, let's share. There's so many good things. Like I wanted I highlighted a lot.
I see. I know that she's most.
I know.
I see. My favorite pants ripped. It's okay.
Oh my god. Oh, at least it's not in your butt and you didn't like bend down in front of the camera and like rip it.
Oh no, it's my pasada. Oh my god. In the summer, I had like a little date, you could say. So I went over to his house. He has a pool, so we were chilling outside, having a couple of drinks, just talking, and stuff. I ripped my freaking pants. I got up and I bent down for something. I don't know why, and I ripped my pants. And then the whole time we were just talking, and then he's
like down your butt.
Yeah, down my butt. Y luego que no tenía calzones.
Oh my god!
He's looking at me like, "Are you gonna get up?" And I was like,
He didn't know.
He didn't know because the conversation. I didn't have to get up, and I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And just warning, while you were in there getting drinks, I ripped my pants. So
oh my gosh!
But it was just like. I was just like, esa es mi vida. Lo bueno que no me da vergüenza de mi vale. Things happen, I got a big booty. Like, big booty or no.
Oh.
I have a big booty. I can't, like, I'm blessed.
God.
And then he gave me one of his towels. I promised to give it back. I never gave it back. But he gave me one of the towels. He lived close to home. So he's like, I'll drop you off at your house. I'm like, no, I want to walk. So you see me walking back home with the towel wrapped around me. I needed my movement. I needed that extra mile for my steps.
Oh my god, that's so funny. That's never happened to me. But I have my brain is like, I feel like I've seen it. Like, not like on a video, but like I've been in a room with someone rip their pants.
Yeah. Pero ahora eso no me favoritos. Lo que bueno es que I have another layer in the bottom.
Yes. Now my brain is remembering I was in a room.
You were in a room?
Ripped their pants. They bent down to get something and it was at work and their work pants ripped.
It happens. It's part of life. It's just part of life. Honestly, when you go through this journey, things like that, just like before I would have been so embarrassing. I would have brought myself down and thought the worst of me. And it would have been a traumatic experience. Now I'm just like,
whatever, my pants ripped.
My butt's too big. I'm blessed. Thank you. A lot of people pay to get it. I got it for free.
You got it naturally.
Naturally. But yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here
Yes.
this week. We would love to hear about your blue beards. What are you looking to
Yes.
get
What
into?
are your blue beards?
Or share with us if you ripped your pants.
Yeah. And how did you handle it?
Yeah. And we'll be here next week. And yeah, start reading the book. It's called Women Who Run with Wolves by Dr. Clarissa Pincos Estes. And yeah, follow us on Instagram,
And
on YouTube,
and
Spotify,
and follow us everywhere. TikTok.
Follow Daisy at Daisy_Del Villar.
Yes.
Izzy at Izzy_Gandaria.
Yes. Message us. Let's have a conversation. How are you doing today?
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, dale.